Don't you wanna?
Style,
Don't you wanna?
set trends,
Don't you wanna?
salon PK, get it in like.
Welcome back with Hair Fashion Pro Tuesday. Today we are in the studio live with the amazing celebrity stylist and Salon PK owner, Pekela Riley. Again, Hair Fashion Pro Tuesday today as she's interviewing some amazing young men. Christopher Freeman, he's entrepreneur and owner of Beautiful Hair for You. He's also co-authored the book along with I say our because you're ours now. You're our very own Marcellus Womack. Thank you very much. They've co-authored it together, and it's just a great, I guess, I like what you said, like a round table kind of a topic discussion. So back and their book, of course, Dope Black Boy to Rich Black Man. Amazing story. Looking forward to getting right back into it with you. Pekela, take it away.
All righty. So, what business skills, I already asked that. So when you speak.
I actually wanted to chime in on that. I'm glad you brought
great.
that back up. Because with Chris, and the way I met him, I actually had a friend, who told me about this. Yeah.
It was actually
I had two friends.
I forgot.
And one of them happens to be on the radio show, Pekela. But you told me how impressed you were when I was talking about some of the beauty supply clients that I worked with. You said there's one guy, and I said, I've been hearing about Beautiful Hair for You and Chris. And when we ended up connecting, and I saw all of the creative marketing that he was doing, I saw this ambition to grow an office, actually grow from selling hair out of a trunk to getting a small office, to getting a store front, to opening up in Georgia, to opening up in Orlando and Tampa. And I said, this guy's like operating
in exponents.
exponentially growing. And so it really touched on some of those skill sets. And one that a lot of young black males can really identify with is, regardless of your situation, you do have an advantage. And his advantage is he's experienced the absolute worst conditions that you can operate any sort of sales or business under. And so he's dealt with the consequences of, if I don't do this sale right, it's death or in a sale. Most business people aren't dealing with those sort of consequences. So whatever he faces with his business now, it's never going to be that bad. Right. It's never going to be just eating peanut butter and jelly for, a whole year, the way he may have been accustomed to. He's seen the worst. And so that's part of that ambition, but also managing the money skills, the people skills, the creative marketing. Like you said, he wasn't able to do commercials. You can't put, I'm selling dope on a flyer or a billboard, but you have to be so innovative and doing some other things. Reprogramming that type of mind and applying that same sort of hustle is actually what makes the greats great.
Absolutely. So you speak to teens and ex-convicts. I've seen that on Facebook, and I really, really commend that. What's your message to them? What are you able to say to them? How do you get through to them?
Because it's easy for me to get through to them because I look like who they want to be. Today, I have a lot of jewelry on, but I do that for a reason.
Y'all. He clean.
No, I do it for a reason because I know that people stereotype people. They'll stereotype you a certain way. You'll look at me and you wouldn't know who I am or what I do. If you didn't know my name, you just probably think I'm just this, this thugged out dude, And even the little kids I go to the school and I talk to them, they like, you got a business? And then it kind of interests them, and then they start listening. Like last week, I went to a school, and this little dude, he was acting like he was tough. Now I boxed too. So he was acting like he wanted to fight this one guy in there, and I was like, man, you ain't gonna fight this dude, And I told him to put his hands up, and I told him, I bet you can't hit me. So he like, man, yeah, I can. And then he tried to do it. I shoulder rolled him, and it slipped and rolled out the way, and then the little guys was in there like, ooh, you can't even hit him. It's like, right. So I can get down, relate to them, because I used to slap box and all that stuff too, and it's easy for me to relate to them because I know what they looking for. They looking for the flashy stuff, and that's what gets them to listen to me.
Well, I think what you're saying is, in a way, you don't have to dumb your swag down to be successful.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with what we like. We like gold, we like flash, we like flair, we're artsy and creative people. And it's okay to show that, and you're showing that you can have that legally.
Yeah, legally, and it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't, the stereotype that people will have, you a drug dealer. Okay, I can look like a drug dealer, but I'm not a drug dealer.
Well, actually, you're doing a lot by to break those stereotypes. You know, I think that sometimes, and it's so unique that sort of if you were to change your whole style, would sort of perpetuate the stereotype. The fact that you haven't changed your style really debunks the stereotype. Like, no, you can't put me in a box because of the way I look, because you would be wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I commend you on that. I do.
And I would even say to that, one of the biggest challenge statements kind of leading into writing this book is, I've always felt, and a lot of people have disagreed with me, but if you take a hustler in the streets, and if you show him a way to make just as much money, or if not more, I feel like he would choose that other option. He just doesn't know. He doesn't think it's feasible. But with Chris' story, he literally went from making a lot of money in the streets doing what he was doing, chose a different trade, and makes more money than he did. He has a greater platform to pass on wealth to his kids. He has more time to spend with his family, more vacations, more Gucci shoes, more gold chains, and it's there, more swag. More bottles to turn up, whenever he wants.
All leaking over here.
It's all over the place.
That's coming off Pekela. Try to get some hot swag.
So, like, you know what? I'm just gonna speak this. I see camps. I see like boys camps and things like that. I see all of this happening, and I'm really, really, I'm gonna talk to you guys about that. So when a young man, sees the many injustices against them, most noticeable of late, all the fatal headlines, with our young black men, how should they process it in a way that, doesn't make them a victim?
I mean, I think that sometimes we just gotta outthink it. Like I said during the break, I've been pulled over by the police a whole bunch of times, for speeding and different things, but I got a heavy foot. And they never try to search my car no more, because the way that when they come to me, the way I react. Like if I say, like back when I was in the streets, if you pull me over, the first thing I'm gonna be like is, man, what you pulled me over for?
Reacting in defiance.
I'm gonna, my chest gonna blow up, and he gonna peep that, and he gonna get, defensive himself. Now, if he pull me over, like, oh man, what you pulled me over for? And then he like say, oh, you were speeding. I'm like, oh God, man, I'm sorry, but I get away.
Right.
I've been wrote warnings. Like I've never got a warning. I'm like, what is this? This is a warning.
I've always
it's just the way it's the way you react to situations, because at the end of the day, they gonna win. You just gotta outsmart it. Even if you just gotta be smart about it.
Okay, so Chris, tell me, what inspires you when you look at Black history, Black culture today? What are the things that inspire you and reinforce within you, despite the problems? We do have some issues, social injustices, but what are some of the things in regards to our history and our current culture that actually inspire you?
That we survivors. That we can make something out of nothing. I was looking at something about Mensa Musa, the guy, really rich. I was like, oh my God. Then I went and looked at his village now, where he was from. He has so much money. They say this guy was like worth $400 billion. Even back then. And that's greatness. Even with all of these other civilizations, this dude he actually put his country on the map. By obtaining wealth, and I've seen it, like we make a lot out of a little, like even with me, when I remember coming home from prison, I didn't have a car, I didn't have no license, I was catching the bus, and I walked outside the other day and I looked at all my cars. I was like, golly, man, I ain't got nowhere to put all this. And it came from nothing. It came from nothing, and it's your mind. You can see so much, and I think that a lot of us are blessed with that we can see. Even the dude out there in the street, for him to have what he has, he's seen it. He has a vision, and then he will go at that vision. Even the big rims, you got dudes spending $70,000-$80,000 on old 1970, but they see, you could look at this car as a piece of junk.
But they
rusted.
see it.
They see something totally different than what you see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
and I would even want to say to that, a real special piece in this book is when talking about Chris when he was young. And Chris was labeled, somebody misbehaves, fights all the time. But you know what he did? In 6th grade, he started up his own crew of selling candy, buying blow pops. But he didn't just buy the blow pops and the candy.
Snickers.
He might have had some Snickers and some Twix.
No.
But he wasn't that dude that was just peddling out of his book bag by himself. He gathered up a crew. He bought all the candy for them, and he bought walkie-talkies. So when they went to school, and they may have cut a class or two, but they could give each other warnings like, okay, Miss James is coming down the 3rd floor, or, you know, Shanika needs some sour apple by the bathroom. And so he had his own communication distribution channel, but nobody recognized that and said that this guy's he's an entrepreneur, he's an enterpriser, you know. And so he found whatever product was closest to him, ended up making a lot of money off of that in a misguided way, you know, with drug sales. But he was an entrepreneur before that, and he had a passion for it. So I think another thing he mentioned was he wanted to be a stunt man. He used to do backwards flips on mattresses. He'd make up and act like they was trampolines.
But he does have that build.
He does.
He
He
does
got
have a
it.
naturally athletic, like a muscular build. So I would have been like in school, like, you know, what's up with them baked beans?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something funny though. A lot of the girls that used to buy candy from me buy hair from me right now. I swear, I'll be looking at it and be like, "Yeah, man." You're like, "Yeah, remember you? I used to always." One of them, she's a doctor. She delivers babies, and she came in her mom, Miss Carla. Hey, Miss Carla, if you're listening.
Hey, Miss Carla.
Those girls still come to my Candace. Like, I remember selling these people candy at school. Like, I'm like, man, they still buying my product. And I have a carpet cleaning company. They even call me to clean their carpets.
That's right. Chris has more businesses than just beautiful hair. He has a carpet cleaning. He's progressed a long way from candy. Yes. So
and just to tie in with that is just anything that you see, even if a kid is messing up in school oftentimes is just measuring a logical intelligence based off of this small parameter of logic of math and reading a particular way. But you have, as Chris said, aspirational IQ, you have emotional IQ, you have physical IQ. It's a talent to be able to jump high and run fast. Your brain tells your body to do things in a particular way. So there are a lot of different skills. And even being a stuntman, I mean, he liked taking risks.
Yeah.
He's doing backwards flips and jumping off of roofs. Those are the same sort of risks that he's able to take. And high risk, high return, that's what yields a lot of his returns in business. So I think we have to take an extra step into looking at young people. And regardless of what they're being labeled as, whatever they're doing that may be misguided, there's some talent that can be an advantage for them, and they just need to be groomed and cultivated into finding a way to make themselves empowered and successful.
Awesome. So, okay, you guys gonna tag team this because you have to do it. I have play word games with all my guests. You can't opt out. So here we go. All right, word game: Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali?
I like Floyd.
Ooh. No, I gotta get both answers.
My dad groomed me on Ali. He made sure I knew how to dance and rumble, young man rumble. So I got to go with Ali.
Yeah, I'm an Ali girl. Okay.
But Floyd has done some amazing things with business. So.
And that goes on what he said about the IQ part. Because they say Floyd really can't read, but he is a beast.
Floyd is smart. Floyd is smart. Okay, so next one: 10,000 in Apple stock or 10,000 in car rims and sound?
Definitely Apple.
I like Apple too.
So Instagram or Snapchat?
Insta.
I'm gonna go Snapchat.
Snapchat is low key popping. Okay. So long hair don't care or short hair don't care?
I need you to have long hair. Short hair, I can't stand the short hair because it costs me money.
I go with long hair too. The beautiful hair is long and beautiful too.
Okay, awesome. Oh goodness, Puff Daddy or Master P?
I got the P. I love the P. I mean, I like Puffy, but P, I mean, he reminds me. I mean, I followed P. Like he's one of my people that I look at.
I'm not supposed to be chiming in, but these are
You take this one for me, Pekela. You take it.
Master P.
Yeah, I love P.
Now you gotta say, with it.
For real.
Don't get me started.
Mary, you chime in. Let's get
Okay. Good book or good movie?
I love a good book.
that's the main thing me and Chris have in common. We love books. We talk about books all the time, and we wrote a book. So book.
Yeah, love books.
All about the books today. Okay, dope black boy or rich black man?
Rich black man.
I think we could all agree. It's a rich black man.
Rich black man indeed.
Okay, so give us some gems that you would like to leave with our listeners.
I mean, what I would want to leave with them is that, anything is possible. Never give up. Reach for the stars.
Yeah. It's pretty much, it sounds so celestial, but it's so just true and possible. Awesome. And tell us where we can buy your book, Dope Black Boy to Rich Black Man, and how to follow you online.
You can buy it on Amazon, vvspublishing.com, and at all Beautiful Hair for You locations.
Awesome.
And you can follow me at Mr. Beautiful Hair and Beautiful Hair for You on Insta.
All righty. There you have it. Everybody pick up a copy, hit Amazon, hit the stores, get the book, Dope Black Boy to Rich Black Man. Thank you.